I've seen karma in a relationship within my ex and myself. So like when I met my ex, like I remember she would just tell me a whole like, oh, I date this person, I date this person. I didn't want to mess with them no more, blah blah blah. And when she got with me, she was like, you are my karma. I was like, what does that mean? She was like, I've always like just jumped from person to person, and I've always left people. Like I've always got tired of them. With you, it was like so different, and now I'm like scared that you're gonna leave me. And you know, I did.
Yo,
Shocker. I mean, but we all remember how that went. So so it was like, okay, she felt like I was her karma. Well, I don't know. Can someone be your karma, or is just like karma something that just appears to you? Because I feel like even in that situation, like I feel like I am always usually the person to end my relationships. And after her, I dealt with someone and literally it ended in the worst way. And I just felt like that was my karma for always like ending things with people and not really on the best terms either. Like I try to end things as subtly as I can. But sometimes when people just don't really get it and they kind of like seek closure too much, it kind of gets annoying to me. And it's just like what don't you get? I start to get really mean. I know that about myself. And I've done that in my past 2 relationships with ending. And I just felt like this situation here, I was just like, this was my karma. I was too mean. I was too mean, and someone was finally mean to me.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. Like I believe that in this whole universe, there's always going to be a cause and effect, and we don't know what the effect may be, but everything has to balance itself out. That's just what life is. So if I was a terrible person to somebody who was, you know, treated me well, and you know, whatever happens, that relationship ends, and then I move on. No matter at what point, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm going to deal with a karma, even if I am in high spirits, in my opinion, because you have to pay for whatever you sowed in some way, shape, or form.
Goes around, comes around.
Yeah. So, and I believe that nothing goes without consequence. You know, sometimes we don't understand that this is the situation that we've created, or a situation that we did before, and this is why we're going through what we're going through. But when I sit down and I look at my life, because I had a lot of karma in my relationship, because I was the cause of a lot of shit. That's when I had to say, again, what did I do wrong? Maybe not right now, but what did I do wrong in my life? What energy did I put out to the universe to deserve this type of consequence? Yeah. Because nothing happens just by accident. I don't believe in it. No. I don't believe in coincidence and accidents. So when it comes to karma, I think that, like, especially in relationships, a lot of times we really did something to somebody and we may not acknowledge it, but we really hurt somebody, or we did something, you know, maybe disloyal to somebody, and we're going to pay for it in some way, shape, or form.
When you do enough of that, right, the heartbreaking, and even with me, when I first found my genuine love for the stage and my genuine love for making music, I was with a girl that was very supportive of me, really good to me, and I was so enamored by the music, and I was just like nothing else. I couldn't think about anything else. I couldn't talk about anything else. All I wanted to do was just write music, be in the studio, or be on stage. And I ended up hurting her in the long run by choosing music over her. And it's something that, you know, because you had asked me earlier, you were saying, you know, how do you balance these things? The balance comes with the right person. Truly, there's no other way to put it. It comes with the right person. But still, no matter what, all those heartbreaks and all that stuff, all that heaviness, that gets carried forever. It's carried forever. It's a life sentence, in my opinion.
Like the one that got away. That's not your situation, but like that's like an example of
100%.
That is
I mean, bro, if you love somebody, you love somebody. If you even say you love the person and you're with them for a year, 2 years, I mean, you love that person. Even if you try to get out, that person's in your life forever. They're in your mind forever. The only way that goes is if your mind goes. You know what I mean? But even if they're dead to you, they're still dead to you in your mind.
No, if I see them,
you know what I mean?
Like in person, they're dead.
Oh, they're dead to you. I mean, You get me though. Like I feel like it's one of those things where like if you do enough damage to other people, you're right, bro. That don't go away. It don't ever go away. But you learn to live with it and you learn to embrace not ever doing it again. So
Like there's some people, right, who were like, I'm not gonna lie. One of the karmas that I faced and still currently like after like tune out is I hit a lot of dudes' girls. So like, and I know how easy it was. And I'm like, I don't want to say my biggest, but the one thing that I'd be like, yo, somebody gonna hit my chick. Like it's bound to happen. Out of all the dudes, chicks that I hit, and they just walk around hugging, kissing, don't even know, you know? And I'm like, it's gotta happen to me. So at one point I was almost manifesting that into my life because I'm like anything that moved a little bit to the left,
weird.
I'm like, nah, hold on. I know what
paranoid,
this is, 'cause
my boy.
And I did this. And I created my own paranoia in my relationship because of how good I was at the game. It sounds crazy, but that's the truth. Like, and when you know it and it's like somebody does something that resembles your actions, right? And they reflect you. And then you're like, wow, when I did this is what I was actually doing behind closed doors. So that means that you're doing the same thing. And you start treating them like they're doing what you think that they're doing, and they could not be doing it. But I just saw this thing on Instagram, right? and
Right.
This shit just bothered me. I just saw this thing on Instagram. You know these guys be doing all these interviews, right? They be, like, you know, guys and girls, they do these random street interviews. And the guys are, I don't know if he edited this way, but he probably went to like, I would say 20 or 30 different girls, different locations, nowhere near in the same, and said, hey, is there an ex right now that you cheated on that still don't know? All of them like, yes. Hell yeah, of course. I'm like, damn. So I'm like, yo, maybe I might not be wrong in my paranoia. Yeah, I don't think that karma is always going to be the way. Like, it's not going to be the way that you expect it, but it's going to create the same feeling that you've created.
To somebody,
right? Yeah, to somebody else. That's just my personal belief. So
Can I interject about the definition? So I actually have to look this up because I think I only know what karma means like just in past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this says Oxford Dictionary. In Hinduism and Buddhism, the sum of a person's actions in this and previous states of existence viewed as deciding their fate in future existences. So one, I didn't know that it was like other existences. I thought it was like what you do now today is gonna come back to you, you know, in your lifetime. But apparently, some could have happened in a previous life, you know, when you were a cat or whatever. And
or you could have just been Joseph. Yeah.
Whatever you were. Like,
whatever you were.
Yeah, I could have been like a roach or something, you know, or a lizard. I don't know.
Oh my God.
And whatever it is gonna come back to you at some point of, you know, in your evolution and cycle of life.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. I don't know if anybody else.
There was a book I read, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but it touched on karmatic debt, and that some souls come into this earth with a karmatic debt from what they've done previously, which with Hinduism, it makes, because they believe in reincarnation. So obviously, if you do something, you know, because there's some people that think that they have, you know, like that person that says that they're unlucky. Like everything that they, since they were a kid, they've been unlucky. They've always had like the shit end of the stick. But maybe, you know, it could be a karmatic debt that they're facing that they potentially did in their previous life. And that's why they're coming out this way. And I always believe that no matter what happens, everything that happens to you, and it's going to sound crazy, but even the worst things that happen to people is literally a testimony for what they need to overcome, in my opinion, because of what has already transpired before, which is why you're repeating these actions in this life, whether it be, you know, 10 years, 5 years, or even before you were born, you're going through it again to figure it out. And I mean, that's what I got from the book too as well. So I kind of like can align with the definition that you're pulling up with, it being something that doesn't have to be at this very, very moment or in this very, very life. And
I didn't know that. Like, I had no idea. I thought it was, you did it, so you gonna get it back.
But I think that when you do something with like malicious intent, that is when you get karma back. Because I'm a very like straightforward, like I might hurt somebody's feelings just by talking my regular talk. I don't think I should get karma for that.
I do agree.
I didn't try to hurt you. I wasn't trying to be mean.
You have a very sweet voice too, like a really, really sweet voice.
So, but I think I am paying for a lot of stuff that I did in the past, and I hope.
Just because I know Lonnie, that's not true.
What?
Like,
Not true.
she doesn't have malicious intent, but it's like, even though you know you're not saying it to be mean, you know that by saying it is going to hurt them.
Well,
You see, I don't. People need.
That was a Sagittarius moment.
Right. Look at them over there.
Yes.
Explain.
Yes.
Stop being so sensitive. Like, you sometimes you need to understand.
The person that was finally mean to me was a Sagittarius too, though. So you guys can't talk your way out of this one.
it's not that it's being mean.
I wasn't trying to be mean. It's just I feel like sometimes if I feel like you being a certain way, somebody needs to tell you. So you
You need
can
to be
stop.
corrected. 100%.
That's it. And I do think that when you are dealing with karma and you're dealing with a lot of things, I think that if you're a good person in this life, hopefully by the next one, I hope next time that I come back, I'm going to be having a better life.
Or maybe next time you don't come back, you go home. Like, I think, like, I say this all the
Maybe
time.
you are a roach and you gotta make sure you don't get stepped on.
Yeah, they survive it. God damn, some roaches been here for a long time.
I was actually just watching a video Johnny Cash was talking about. Somebody had asked him, they were like, hey, Johnny, could you just write a song on the spot? And he was like, no, I mean, that's crazy. Absolutely not. And he was like, it's almost like if I tell myself next week on this specific day and this specific time, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to make an entire hit. He was like, no, I have to live. And I have to go into he didn't say portal, but it's the most beautiful way to put it. He has to visit his vibes. It's not something that you can force. Even with me, I can't just sit down and, I mean, it's probably the most inauthentic thing you could possibly do. You know, for me as specifically the type of writing that I do and how I like to do it, it's not something that I can force either. It's really something that I have to like meditate. I have to live. I have to jump into that portal. I really just genuinely believe that, I don't know. I don't think karma is, I believe there's a start, there's a finish. And I don't even believe in circumstances. I believe in choice. You want your life to be great, whether you're living in a slum in Brazil, right? Or a village in Nigeria, right? Or in a campo in Puerto Rico that doesn't barely have anything, right? Like, you know, not every campo, I'm just in general, right? If you are in there, like, you ever seen a lot of we were talking about the UFC fighters, a lot of these cats are coming from nothing, but it's because they're standing up in the morning, 5 a.m, putting on whatever shoes they're using, probably got holes on the bottom, and they're telling themselves, I'm going to be a champion one day. And little by little, one way or another, they make it to the top. They might not hit the championship status, but even just trying, and like I said, if you live that life, and if you want to live a fruitful life, all you really have to do is try to put fruit and put as many seeds as you can. Like my boy Lon just showed me a video of The Rock blessing this guy. I'm so sad that I forgot his name already, but again, the data intake is crazy. I already forgot. The angel just touched my lip. So, you know, but you know, here is this guy that's just blessing people, and then you look at The Rock and you're like, this is a blessed guy right here. He's living the life that I'm sure at least 98% of men in America probably want to live. And why is that? It's about putting it out into the world. I, Jeremy Torres, I am going to live a very fruitful life. I, Jeremy Torres, I'm going to change people's lives. I, Jeremy Torres, I'm going to put hits out. I, Jeremy Torres, I'm going to have a sit down with Juan Luis Guerra right here, right next to you, right here. You feel me? Like, I, Jeremy Torres, can do whatever Jeremy Torres pleases to do as long as it pleases others, right? And that's really what it comes down to. That's whether you look at it as karma, whether you look at it as this or that, you could give it any name. The number one thing that matters is what you're doing right now. What does Lil Wayne say? Yesterday was the history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Man.
Yeah, Lil Wayne was one of the GOATs.
Was.
Well,
No. Yeah.
he definitely is, but in a lot of younger people, they don't even know. Just to jump back on the karma thing, I think that sometimes we gotta understand that karma doesn't have to be the end. And a lot of times we feel as if once we are experiencing our own karma, specifically on a negative aspect, that means that this is over, whatever this may be. So let's say if I was with Amanda and I cheated on Amanda, and now I'm with Lonnie and Lonnie cheats on me, that means it has to be over. And realistically, I don't believe that. I think that karma is really just to show you what happened. It's supposed to be an enlightening moment for you to now build forward. Now, hopefully that doesn't continue. Yeah. But I think that we get to a point when we experience our karma, we get so mad at them, really, but we're mad at ourselves. But we take it out on the person who gave us a piece of our own medicine. Yeah. And I think that that's unfair. So, like, when Alan, my very first audition here at 2018 in January, I think it was, Alan asked me if my girl said, at that time, if my girl said she wanted an open relationship, what would I say? And I said to him, me, my girl right now? He said, yeah. I was like, well, I know what I've been doing, so I'd have to be open-minded to it because I was already doing it. That would be my karma. Do I want that? No. But I would try to at least embrace that because I created that. Some way, somehow, I created it. But just because she might have wanted something or just because a situation might have transpired that I may not like or may not be idealistic for me, I would still take it on and try to see if I can get past that just because I put that in there. I put that in the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we talk about music, you're talking about creations. You know what I mean? So when you create everything, you create your karma, you create your obstacles, you create your blessings. And no matter which way you look at it, even on a negative aspect, that does not mean that you need to stop. And that's just my opinion.
No, you're good.
Unfortunately, I don't think that a lot of people are as evolved in their thinking and in their emotional discipline to even like go into a space to say, you know what, damn, I gotta hold that L. Because I've been dropping L's everywhere for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So, in a sense, it's poetic.
Yeah.
Because idealistically, I think, we would want people to be like, you know, I messed up, so it's coming back to me. Yeah. But most of us don't. We're just worried about like what's happening to us right now and not what we may have put into the universe, you know, previously and how it's coming back to us now.
But I don't think that people even ask themselves, like, what did I do? Like, we so quick to be like, oh, you did this to me, or you said that to me. Nobody be like, what did I do?
But I mean, can manifestation cancel karma?
You manifested karma.
But like, what if like you're manifesting
you
like...
You cannot know. No. So like, there was this thing that I had read, and it was dope. It said that everything is full. Right, when you're talking about like the law of vibration, right? It has to be full. Now you can sit here and try to ignore the negative part, but it's still full. Yeah. It's still a void there. So whether or not you think you're good, like you can try to fill it with good if you want, but it has to be filled with good first. So if you pull it out and it's empty and you just focusing on the good, it's gonna fill it back with the bad. So you can't really cancel your karma because you've already felt it.
But that's like almost like ignoring it then. That's more like...
Yeah, but you did it.
Yeah.
Like, I think out of sight, out of mind would be more so Lonnie's situation. Like, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I was just being honest. Mm-hmm. But if I meant to hurt your feelings...
They would...
Yeah. But you still hurt regardless, right?
Yeah.
But if I meant to hurt your feelings, I'm going to have to deal with that. No matter how much good... You see how many rich people try to become philanthropists because of all the crazy shit they did to become rich? You can't. They still live with that burden.
You know what? Because you made a good point because there's a huge difference between doing something, whether it's physical or verbal or whatever, and it happens to hurt somebody's feelings or happens to XYZ to somebody. But when you set out with the actual intent to hurt somebody's feelings, I think it's a very different type of action, if that makes any sense. Like, I could be like, oh, Lonnie, I don't know, your nails are ugly.
Yeah, it's messed up.
See? Doesn't hurt her feelings, right? But if I just, I don't know, if I say like, I don't know, just something where I'm literally intentionally trying to hurt your feelings. Like there's
I'm
a
saying
difference.
that could have been something that could have hurt my feelings, but it just depends how I take it.
Yeah.
That would be different. I don't think that you said it to be like,
Right.
I know, but if it's somebody else, they
Just
might
an
take it
observation.
like, damn, you're now this that
Yeah.
girl.
Right.
Happened.
So I mean, to your point,
I don't know. I just think that we need to start looking at ourselves when we go through what we deem as karma, And I was told this before. I don't know. You guys let me know if you agree. If you do something right now, and something happens to you, like almost immediately, not like at that very moment, but let's say within the same week, right? That kind of reflect what you've just done. That means you're at the good part of your karma because your karma is not backed up. It's happening. It's actually washing out very fast.
I've never heard that. How do you feel? And I'm gonna ask Lonnie. How do you feel about when somebody sows an ill in your garden? How do you feel about you giving them their karma?
I think that a lot of times that's what happens. Like, my job is to give you your karma.
Right?
Yeah. So then you just like, a lot of times you see situations where it's like somebody's like, oh, he's gonna start messing with that girl. She about to give it to him because he did a lot of dirt. And you see when people have babies, right? And they be like, that's where you're gonna pay everything you done. So yeah, a lot of times it's your job to give somebody their karma. And you just,
The same person that did it to you, though.
oh, I do that.
I know. That's why I asked you.
She said, "I am
said,
karma."
"Oh, that's why I was the."
I've done that a couple times. But I just do it to make them feel it, and then I just leave them.
So you do things intentionally.
No, but you already did it to me. I'm just paying you back.
But you don't think
So that you
So
can,
I'm canceling you out.
yeah, so
I'm
that
just
you can
canceling you out.
feel what it feels like. Because sometimes maybe you do something to somebody and you have no idea how it's going to impact them. Maybe. And sometimes you got to do something to them to make sure they.
you just want to take matters into your own hands?
Oh, y'all need to be studied.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a video that got what
Here.
$10 million with
a
10
dare.
million views, and it's about karma. And I said, I'm not. If you did me wrong, if you got over on me, that's cool. I'm gonna let life deal with you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna let karma deal with you, because I don't.
It will.
I don't have the energy to sit here and fester up, and it takes too much out of me.
Well, in a way, I mean, it's
does.
gonna happen to them. It's gonna
gonna
they're
happen
gonna do it to
regardless.
them. They're gonna do it to themselves. Because if you think about it, if they did it to you, I mean,
Yeah, but
9 out of 10 times they're gonna do it again.
To you, and if they leave you alone, it's cool. Oh, you left me alone, cool. You're gonna pay for that. But when they keep bugging you and they keep poking at you, you just be like, you know what? I'm gonna give you what you need.
But why don't you just remove yourself
Sometimes
entirely?
when I when I sit and fester,
Yeah.
I can't think of like payback that's good enough sometimes. And that takes too much energy out of me. And that's why I let the universe do its thing.
I have a lot.
you
Because
don't feel dark.
exactly.
Like,
when
when
you
you-
sit there and you fester and you're like, I gotta get back, it kind of takes over your energy. What the hell? Y'all need something. Because
That's why they call y'all Magic terrorists.
That was
I could not believe in unison. You guys were.
That was the third time y'all did that, by the way.
that was crazy.
So, I don't know. I think sometimes it's very important for me to
We need a scientist for their ass.
have the person understand.
It's very important for you to have them understand, guys.
Yeah. Because I feel like you can tell somebody all day long.
You want to teach the lessons.
Not necessarily me. I mean, somebody else could teach it,
Mhm.
but it's that lesson that I believe is important to be taught. Meaning, like, if you steal from me,
Mm.
I may not steal from you, but maybe you might get stolen from that I know about. You know what I'm saying?
That you orchestrated.
That I know about.
Lowest.
Like, you
Yo.
know me in my face. I got something for you. Like, there's just a lot of things, like, especially when you hold certain people in a certain regard, you're like, dang, I really didn't
But
think
that specifically is what people call taking karma into your own hands.
right.
Which is detrimental. Like, I don't want to get into this. It's going to be a little bit left, but that's the problem with the streets, right? It'd be a 7th grade fight about a girl that one guy got knocked out. that he was in a certain gang. So then because he got knocked out, he wanted to have, the upper hand in the karma and inflict the karma. So he got his gang to go ahead and beat up the person that knocked him out. Just so happened that when they beat him up, they broke his neck. And now somebody died. So now it becomes an eye for an eye. And it lasts forever because it's a battle of who's going to give each other karma. And it all started over something that could have just been walked away from.
But see, that's the thing. It's like, if anything, that should go back to an original lesson or to as a lesson to the person who started the shit. Because none of us control anybody's response.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So let's say you come and like stand up right here and bark on me. I don't really argue with people. I don't really raise my voice. I just don't interact with people like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you stand up on me and bark on me, like I'm going to go to 12. There's no just responding just like you did, because that's not how I interact with people. I don't know how to do that. I want this situation to be shut down and to never happen again. So if anything, that means the original, like the person who initiated the foolishness, should consider their actions before they do it.
No, and I agree, but I think that the biggest part is how you respond to things.
I agree.
Right? It's never like in football they say, somebody hits you, only the person that actually hits back ever gets flagged. If you watch football, it'd be crazy. Somebody just mushed you in the back of the head, you turn around and smack them, but you the one that's penalized. And I think that is a
cool 15.
Yeah, cool. And a first down, like damn, it was just 3rd and long. But now, and the problem is like when you respond and you act out and you meet, I shouldn't even say their heights, you meet their lows because you had to stoop down. It's only just a slippery slope from there. I don't believe in eye for an eye, and I try very hard because I know I was taught to believe that. You know what I'm saying? But I know how long that war lasts.
That's crazy that you even said that. Taught.
Yeah, I was taught.
You know how there's such thing as generational wealth? I believe that there's generational ignorance as well. And I believe that and this is kind of like what I was saying before about because I do believe, brother, that you can absolutely cancel anything out. It's just like a lot of the cats that still live that street life, they're living that street life because their OGs or the people before them didn't stop them from living that street life, didn't tell them about how it really ends up. And that's something that has to be cut at the core. That's really you want to fix an issue, right? Whether it's getting cheated on or anything. You got to go to the core, right? And so generational wealth, generational ignorance. People are going to, it's the human race entirely. Look at how history is repeating itself over and over and over again. It's just people got to start waking up and being like I said, everything going to be good. We're going to take care of each other. That's how it should be. We shouldn't be talking about each other's nails. We should be talking about, yo, where are you eating tonight? Can I eat with you? Can we have a great conversation about good life and what you want in your life? Like, what are your aspirations? Where do you want to retire? Where do you want to, what's your dream home? That's what I want to know, And so people just got to cut it at the core, man. People want to see real difference. If people really, that whole karma thing is an excuse.
An excuse for what? What do you mean?
I think karma is an excuse for people not wanting to take accountability for their own actions. Whether you think that, something's happening to you because your great ancestor did something crazy. No, I don't. I just genuinely don't believe that. I genuinely believe that, like I said, you want to live a good life, do the good things that are going to bring you that fruit. If you want to live a life where you're a little bit more rebellious, well, a lot more rebellious consequences are going to happen to you. And so, I come from, my household, we once my mom passed away, we branched off into a lot of different directions, right? I went off and, I took school. Once I went into high school, I started swimming, and I thought that was really what I wanted to do. And then I ended up taking a job because we barely had no bread. And I didn't take that, right, as, my great Theo Henry, fucked up and robbed this bodega and you know what I'm saying? It's I gotta go get a job because I got no bread coming in. My stepdad got no bread coming in. My little sisters are starving. I gotta go get a job. No karma, just I have a circumstance and I have a choice, right? And so I went and I got a janitor job at my high school. I was getting paid like $7.50 an hour, scraping gum off the bottom of the desk. I'm just humming a little tune, and next thing you know, my chorus teacher passes by. Not even my chorus teacher at the time. He just hears me humming, not even singing. I didn't know how to sing at that point. I'm just, whatever. He's like, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm, taking gum out the bottom of the desks because of my Theo Henry." You feel me? He's like,
That was actually good.
so, I'm like, I'm just peeling gum off the desk. And Mr. Bennett, Gregory Bennett, shout out to him. He was like, "Man, come to my office and we're gonna chop it up." And he was like, "I would like for you to sing it's the highest chorus. You have to audition for 3 years just to get in." And he just walked me in and said, "This is your seat. This is your folder." And because I wasn't letting my circumstances of me peeling gum off the bottom of the desk, and because I wasn't thinking about my great Theo Henry, I went and I followed my music teacher to that classroom. And it was the most beautiful thing that could have ever happened because, like I was saying before, my brother, I manifested that. I'm sitting there. I wasn't even thinking about me, bro. I'm not even thinking about nothing like that. I'm vibing. I'm catching all these vibes and I'm peeling this gum, yeah. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I'm having a bad time. I'm having a great time, yeah. And that's what if you want to think about what true karma is, it's in your mind. It's really in your head. It really is. Whether you want to see it in a spiritual way, you want to see it in a scientific way, you want to see it in a universal way. That's what it is. Karma's you.
Don't point at me.
No, karma's you. Karma's you. Karma's me. We are karma. We are karma. We are karma. To think that there is this thing that is. No, I moved that. It's me. I'm my own karma.
I'll be like,
Not Theo Henry. No, great Theo Henry. I love you, man. You good. You didn't do nothing wrong. And if you did, well, that's on you. You made the bed that you sleep in. And that's it. That's just because I feel like, I was thinking long and hard about, what I even felt about this karma thing. Because, I heard everybody's perspectives and I'm just like, it all sounds great and beautiful and la la land almost. Because to me, I'm like, let's be real. There's no karma sitting next to you, girl. You're going to do whatever you're going to do in your life and in your world because it's your world.
Again, you're creating this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're creating this. And you're creating this first with your mental, right? So wherever your mindset is where you're going to really try to put the driving force to, your destiny. Now, a lot of times, the guilty conscience is your karma. You know what I'm saying? So because that guilty conscience, because you know what you did, no matter how much you say, "I didn't do it intentionally," I know what I did.
Yep.
And it does weigh you down, and that does start to make you take a left turn or a right turn and you start to get off track. And that's what happens. And usually, eventually, you get tired of it. I believe that everybody changes their lives and they changes their ways when they're truly fed up.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate part. Because a lot of times you have to lose almost everything for you to become fed up.
Bottom. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you stop doing all of this, like, I got to get your car. I want to see you suffer and I'm going to keep your car. Like, this is like that's kind of crazy to me. Like,
It was the car stuff that made me take a step
never
back.
keep your car.
I'm gonna do something way better.
Right.
Oh.
Like, all right, but
It's my obsession to mess up someone's car that made me just be like, you know what? Karma. Honestly, it was that. I'm like,
karma.
I'm like, I keep going for the car.
Yeah.
My mind just goes straight to the car. What can I do to the car?
I don't think so, car. And I dealt with it.
Including take it.
And I'm still here.
I've actually never damaged anybody's property.